мы продолжаем с вами проходить Bound by Flame. В прошлой серии мы спасли ведьму, которая стоит сейчас сзади нас, и получили новый уровень. Так, давайте посмотрим, что нам можно тут прокачать. Так. Угу. Так, что у меня все закончилось? Ладно. Так. Везунчик приобрести. Окей. Так, что у нас здесь? А, ну это самый лучший. Так, эльфийская. Ладно. Блин. Ну, так, куда нам надо в том направлении дойти? Так, отлично. Погнали. Так, нам надо вон туда. Так, стопы не сюда. Ты мне что-нибудь расскажешь? Нет. Так, не прими болтать. Погнали. Так, новых тварей здесь нет. Походу делать днем здесь никто не ходит, да? Только по ночам. Ну, для нас это даже будет хорошо.
Well, first go see your steward before the villagers decide to burn me at the stake. I mean, if you want to, Vulcan.
It'll probably turn into an interrogation pretty quickly. Try not to make it worse for yourself. And don't kill anyone, for starters. Especially if he's wearing red.
That seems reasonable to me, for the moment.
Ладно, погнали. Какие-то странные ворота. Давай заходи. Блин, хватит меня только.
I'd rather stay here if you don't mind.
Why? You're not planning to give me the slip by any chance, are you?
I don't like the idea of getting locked up by the Red Scribes again. It might provoke me into a loss of my legendary restraint. And I'm sure that you don't want to have to scrape another one of your employers up off the ground.
Well, it's true that I prefer they remain in one piece. All right, fine, you can stay here. But if you do get it in your head to run away, I will find you. You won't like it when I do.
I'm trembling, but yes, I'll wait here.
Did you find this famous beast?
Found it and killed it. But don't hold your breath waiting for its fur for next winter, because I didn't bring it back for you.
Excellent news. I knew the village could count on you.
Actually, not so excellent. Alis is dead.
Dead? But no, that's not possible. Are you sure?
When it doesn't move and it doesn't breathe and it looks at you with an even stupider gaze than one of your guards, that generally means it's dead, yeah.
I demand that you show some respect. The Red Scribes are a precious help to us here. Aeolus was a useful man, a good man, and he was under your care.
Так. Давай,
Oh,
прошлому
please.
человеку из-за
Your
что-то.
good man had a few skeletons in his closet. He was controlling the swamp beast to keep people away. He had you all fooled. Aeolus was even ready to kill his own daughter to cover up his secrets.
What nonsense is this? How can you make such ridiculous accusations? Am I to understand he died at your hands?
Так. А, пофиг.
He turned up all alone at the place where I fought the beast. No guide, no escort. He knew the way. And after coming after Sybil, he tried to kill his captive to shut her up. There was a fight, and he didn't survive.
What madness. What do you know of this prisoner? If Aeolus held her captive, she must have been dangerous.
Так. Вообще ничего, она какая-то подозрительная.
She doesn't talk much, but something tells me she knows more than she's letting on about the Ice Lords.
I don't like this. You realize you may have set a wolf among the sheep.
Or maybe someone who could be useful in our fight with the Deadwalkers.
Well then, you must find out immediately. As of now, she is your responsibility. I should deliver her to the Red Scribes without any further ado, yet, after what you have told me, I no longer know what to think. She will be given a fair hearing. Until that time, she never leaves your presence. If there is the least incident, I promise you, you shall answer for it. And there is no prison here, in case you had not noticed.
Okay, sounds fair to me.
However low your opinion was of Aeolus, his death is a great loss for Valvanor. He was meant to be looking into a most disturbing matter.
All right, I can see where this is headed. What do you want?
There is no guarantee that you have the necessary skills to handle this matter, Freeborn Blade. Even Mirana is flummoxed.
What is it? An epidemic?
That's exactly what I'd like to know. Several of the villagers have been behaving curiously of late. They have become distant, taciturn, and barely react to the world around them.
They're just hungover. You'd know if you got drunk more often, and you look like you need to.
I believe there are a few here who would know the difference. It's something else. They seem very concentrated, as though they are observing us. I feared some kind of sickness and that it will spread throughout the village.
Got it. I'll slap him around a little. That should wake him up.
My goodness. That's not exactly what I had in mind, but I must confess the results interest me more than the methods.
Well, that's gonna be my method, so let's leave it at that if you don't mind. I'm not helping you because you made puppy eyes at the captain.
Так. Значит, нам надо выяснить, почему они такие подозрительные. Так, что за чувак? Как-то странно стоит. Вообще все здесь какие-то подозрительные. Ладно, пошли. Так. Где мы будем выяснять?
As I understand it, some people are behaving even more stupidly than they normally do.
That's right. You've asked me to check it out.
Perfect. I'll come along with you.
Hang on. What is your interest in all of this?
Дело в том, что... дело в том, что идет... Так, тебе что-то известно?
Is there something you're not telling me? What are you trying to prove by coming with me?
How perceptive. How brilliant.
Yeah, great. Just tell me what you know or think you know about all of this.
All right, but keep it to yourself for the moment. We don't want to start a panic. At least, not until we're completely sure of ourselves. It seems to me that I recognize these symptoms, and if I am right, these people are possessed.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm not yet certain. We absolutely must inspect and investigate further in order to be sure. But I think the Deadwalker army is behind all of this.
All right, let's go.
Так. О. Блин, это выход. Тоже выход. Так, не туда. Пойдем обратно. Пойдем в ту сторону сходим. О. Ящичек. Так, надо карту посмотреть. Турный класс. Лагерь беженцев. Так. Есть так стоит тут. О, смотри, еще один ящик. Так, есть тоже выход какой-то. Блин, что-то... Ага. Чё лишний раз не помешает прогуляться? Нички пособирать. Так, ну не в ту сторону, ну да, в ту сторону. Так, с кем здесь можно пообщаться?
Vulcan, for fuck's sake, what did you do to Aeolas?
I never laid a finger on him, Captain. But if you want my opinion, I think he screwed us over.
So you had to kill him? That was our fucking employer. Could you not take 2 goddamn seconds to think about that?
I didn't kill him. It was this woman, Edwin. She killed him.
That's what they told me. That doesn't change the fact that that dish rag of a scribe was our client. And your job was to protect him. If he was trying to fuck us over, it's up to me to deal with that. And for a starter, where did this wee tart that's spilling out of her dress come from?
She was his prisoner in the swamp. Looks like he was trying to get information out of her, which she obviously didn't give him, considering she's still alive.
All right then. Maybe she can be of use to us. I already spoke with Aeolas's assistant. Seems he pulled the wool over their eyes as much as he did ours. They're petrified. So they've agreed to honor their contract with us. I need you to get this Edwin woman to talk. I want to know where she's from, who she is, who she works for. All of it. And watch out for the red scribes. We don't want to get fooled twice.
Understood, Captain. I'll check it out.
If you can find Hawk, tell him to get his arse back here. I sent him out on a recon mission and he still hasn't come back.
Do you think something happened to him?
Well, there aren't any decent whorehouses around here, so yes, something may well have happened to him.
I'll find him, sir.
Так. Я пойду.
I'm leaving.
Have you decided what you're going to do with me?
I'm working on it.
Meanwhile, I remain a prisoner.
Так.
You are
Пока
free
что
to do
это
what
часть.
you want as long as you stay in the village or with me. But if you cross the line, I'm the one who will straighten you out. So one false move and I blow you up. It's painful. Are we clear?
Yes, very clear. And perfect timing as well. It just so happens that I have absolutely no intention of disturbing this delicious village in any way. A place whose tragic end now seems ordained, and over whose corpse the red scribes and freeborn blades will scrabble in the bleeding mud. A spectacle which promises to be unique, and one I wouldn't dream of missing for the world.
We'll enjoy the show. But if I ever need your help, I want to be able to count on it.
Very well. You may consider that we have an arrangement.
Так, хочу спросить тебя кое о чем. Давай.
I would like to ask you a few questions.
Расследование. Ты самый великолепный. Демон. Так. Нет, погоди, одна другую.
Thanks.
Так. Нет, он все. Ладно, давай по-быстрому.
Edwin, I need to speak to you.
What can I do for you?
Хочу спросить тебя кое о чем. Нам нужно пересмотреть твой боевой
We need
стиль.
to rethink your combat style.
Do we have a problem?
Так, знаешь что? Ничего. Постарайся действовать более агрессивно. Так, ладно.
No,
Ничего не
nothing.
меняй.
Don't change a thing.
How indecisive you can be. Your double personality, perhaps?
Так, хочу спросить тебя кое о
I
чем.
would like to ask you a few questions.
Так. Так, насчет нашего расследования. Давай
Aylas
поясним
called you a
подробнее.
sorceress. Well, are you one?
A sorceress? Only a rube or an imbecile would call someone a sorceress. If Aeolus had even a minimum of intelligence and discernment, he would have chosen another term. I do a bit of magic, it's true, but that makes me a magician. Nonetheless, my abilities could never rival those of a lord of the frozen shadows, even if I am far more powerful than any red scribe will ever be.
Так. Что это за
So this
демон?
demon inside me, what is it?
I can't say for sure. I've only rarely ever seen something so interesting, but all the same, I'm certain of one thing. Your host is directly linked to the World Heart.
To the World Heart?
It's a simple question of logic. The ritual performed by the scribes had to make contact with the World Heart somehow. Your affinity for flames is a crucial clue.
Okay, but what's my role in all this?
For now, you are the vehicle. You'll have to decide if you're going to use its power or just be a simple vessel.
Так.
What do you think about our investigation?
They are undoubtedly possessed by some creature, one that is hiding not far away from here. We should go and speak with that model of military rigor, the head of the guards.
Thanks.
Так. Что тут еще нам скажет?
Vulcan, I do love our little chats, but shouldn't you be doing something?
You wanted the Freeborn Blades to help the villagers. Is that still happening?
As long as we have to stay here, yes. Why?
Have you
Да.
heard about these villagers who were acting strange?
Yes, I've had reports about them. The whole thing stinks if you ask me. Take that one over there, for example. The one giving me the fisheye. If we weren't stuck in this place, I'd go over there and put his lights out. I've asked Buffalo to keep an eye on them. If they start getting squaddly, he'll give us a heads up.
Так,
I'm
ладно.
leaving.
Так. Ну-ка, сейчас что-то изменилось.
The captain tells me you're keeping an eye on the villagers that are acting weird.
Yes. Look at them. You see that couple? Take a good look at the husband. I've seen livelier zombies. It's like he was dead inside. And they aren't the only ones. There must be at least half a dozen of them. But what bothers me is that if you look closely, you can see they're checking everything out.
But what's wrong with them?
No idea. They look like they're turning into dead walkers, but the odd thing is how they're spread out. You see how they're placed? They can check out most of the village from where they are. I'm almost certain they're scouting the place out for someone. Since you seem interested, you should go and talk to them. Look, I've marked out their positions on the map.
Так,
See you
ладно.
later.
Что он отметил на карте? Так, ладно. Мне интересно, что внизу светится. Мне кажется, вон там что-то светилось. Блин. Так, ладно, пошли по маркерам. Так, ну давай. Или чё? Так, это не он. Ждать до ночи, что ли? Что-то не пойму, ничего не показывает. Ну ладно, до утра. Выспимся хоть. Так, еще раз двойной маркер посмотрим. Так, еще несколько заданий. Вон там появились.
Good day. Are you related to this man?
You might say that. Miliev is my husband. I'm called Nigella.
Well, do you know what's wrong with him? Have you noticed anything strange about him lately?
Well, of course I noticed. He's the one who's a vegetable, not me. Still, I must admit, it's been nice and peaceful.
В таком состоянии.
How long ago did he change?
About 3 days ago. He went out hunting in the swamps. But when he come back empty-handed, he had that far-away look in his eyes.
Так, Куда он уходит? Куда он уходит?
Do you have any idea where he goes off to?
No, I've got no idea. Not down the tavern, and that's the main thing.
It doesn't bother you at all?
Let's be honest. Considering the sort of women what are still available in the village and what a rubbish lover he is, I doubt he's got a mistress. And he's hardly gonna find any gorgeous sluts wandering around the swamps.
You might be surprised.
You're too kind. I can't decide whether I'm flattered or vaguely insulted.
Don't change a thing. You're perfect.
So true. Thanks for noticing.
Sorry to have
До
bothered you.
свидания.
I'll go.
Так, ладно. Найти мертвецов. А,
Do you know this woman?
Of course I know her. Her name's Agatha, and she's my wife these past 8 years.
то есть какой-то
Even if the
сериал.
old cow treats me like she doesn't know me,
What happened to her?
ask her yourself. She don't talk to me no more. I know we had our ups and downs, but still.
Так,
Is there anything else strange about her, apart from the not talking?
Well, she ain't much between the thighs, if that's what you mean. She don't say or do nothing. Just sort of lets me get on with it. She don't even pretend to notice what we're doing.
Men. Give them a piece of meat, and they're just a couple of minutes away from satisfaction and sleep.
Yeah, sure, but not every man is like that.
True. Some are more discerning. Others show the meat a little more respect.
I was only trying to give her a nice moment to patch things up between us, sort of.
That's not really what I was asking about, to be honest.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. There might be something else. I woke up this night, and she weren't there. I must have dozed a half hour before I gone back to sleep, but she never come back. I never saw her again until sunrise.
And I imagine you have no idea where she could have gone?
None. And she wouldn't say nothing to me, like usual. I hope that bitch ain't off seeing another man. That's all I need.
I can't imagine why she would want to do that. You seem like the perfect husband.
How long has she been like this?
It come over her like a dose of the shits a couple of days ago. See, she goes off with Jervis and the others to go and collect berries in the swamp, and when they comes back, not one of them will talk to me.
Where exactly did they go?
What? How the fuck should I know? You'll pardon me, but gathering berries is women's work. But at any rate, they never go far, otherwise they never come back at all.
так,
So she
в
didn't go
принципе,
alone? Jervis is one of Mason's men, isn't he?
Yeah, that's him. There were 5 or 6 of them. Why don't you go and ask Jervis? He should be over by the barracks. He'll have a better chance. He'll talk to you if you don't mention me.
I'll be leaving now.
I think we'd better go back and talk to that drunken sot who
Так,
pretends to
по-моему,
be
к этому-
chief of the guard. We need to find out where that
что я
expedition is
уже
going.
хотел. Так, на кого еще показывает? Так. Сюда и сюда, дурной глаз. Так, сейчас кто-то. С той стороны. Ладно, пойдем снова к капитану прогуляемся.
Are you okay? I was just, you know, being polite. Don't feel like you have to give me your whole life story.
Hast thou gone mad? His lips moveth not.
I'm just trying to save face. I hate being ignored.
Так, ладно. Нам тут новых показывают. Так.
Hello there. You don't like being distracted. I can see that. Obviously.
I'll wait for you here.
Да, пожалуйста.
Mr. Vulcan, what brings you here?
При том, что тут есть.
I've got a few questions I'd like to ask about this village.
I imagine there are few who are better placed than myself to answer them.
Так.
What can you tell me about the people of Valvanor?
Before the war, there were just a few families here. Hunters and craftsmen, mostly. These days, they survive as best they can, husbanding their animals and digging up the puny vegetables they've managed to grow. Few dare to venture outside the walls. These woods are fruitful, but more perilous than ever before, and most of these folk know nothing of arms.
But you've got your guards.
They hardly qualify as an armed militia. Of the few that remain, most are sturdy farmers whom we have entrusted with some kind of weapon. Most of the real fighters left the village as soon as war broke out. The others died while out on patrol. The only one left here with any real experience is Mason, the head of the guard. Sadly, the man is a walking beer keg, who could not give a dog's fart for what his men are about.
Так. Что значит ключик?
The healing house. It's a pretty good thing for your village, huh?
If you say so. As time has gone by, the healing house has drawn refugees to the swamps in ever greater numbers, and dissuaded some malingerers from returning to their families. When it opened its doors a year ago, the sense of relief was palpable. It was run by a couple, an elf doctor and his apothecary wife, who clearly were no strangers to the healing arts. Thanks to them, we were spared many plagues. But as the war dragged on, the endless tide of refugees continued to flow through our gates until we could harbor no more. 6 months ago, our worst nightmares were fulfilled. Our elf doctor fell ill and died. Since then, Mirana has soldiered on without rest, alone. I do not know how much longer she can keep going. The refugees just keep on coming. And I fear that poor woman is beginning to crumble under the strain. It's not surprising.
Так.
I need a blacksmith. Do you have one here?
With none more qualified, I asked Asiel to take over the village forge. I suppose I should warn you, he's quite a tricky character. He has a huge ego and is stubborn as an ox. Before the war, he was a sort of artist. He crafted jewelry and sculptures from metal. Despite running the forge, one could hardly call him a blacksmith. But he's the only one here who had even the vaguest notion of how to repair a shovel or straighten a blade.
Who are all those refugees that you're keeping outside the walls?
The war with the Ice Lords has driven many from their homes and villages. Alas, it would seem that some of them found their way here. I have tried to accommodate as many as we can, and provide as much comfort as possible, but I fear we can do little more. We are reaching the end of our reserves, and relations between the refugees and the villagers are becoming strained.
The refugees can't all be dead weight. Some of them have got to be useful.
Oh, if only. Believe me, I would be the first to welcome them. These peasants have been fleeing from town to town and from camp to camp for months. The best and strongest of them perished in battles, somewhere along the way. I must deal with the leftovers. I put the biggest of them in the watch, but they are of little use.
How come it's you that's running the show here?
What a question. Because, my friend, someone has to. You imagine I'm doing this for my amusement, perhaps? Doubtless you wish it was someone else. The chief of the watch has trouble organizing 3 peasants. Our dear apothecary is evidently keen to give succor to any and every poor soul who wanders into the healing house. And regardless of your reputation, the people of this village would never trust outsiders such as yourself, or even the Red Scribes. So yes, it is indeed I who command here. The one-time steward of the hunting lodge of Valvanor, now leader of this shithole.
Well, hell. Glad we got that cleared up.
Так.
We'll talk
Ладно,
again
всё.
later.
Хватит трепаться уже.
The Order of the Freeborn Blades is of great repute, and the mercenary does honor to its name. The mercenary's powers are both astonishing and fascinating. The knight would like to duel with the mercenary, that he may judge the mercenary's strength.
Давай
Sure,
подеремся.
I can never turn down a good fight. But maybe we should take it outside if we don't want to break everything in here.
The knight is honored, and bows to his adversary's wisdom. His adversary will not hold back his blows.
Oh, you can count on it.
Ты зараза. Давай. Да я понял. Ты ни хера себе. Ах ты. Ух ты, засранец. Блин. пробивает. Да держи блок. Давай. Ты зараза. Блин, пробивает и все. Пни его уже. Че не пойму, у него становится тоже строит, да? Блин, пробивает. Да все тут же. Ты засранец. Блин, нихера себе. Блин, давай. Блин, тебе.
The knight has never before battled an adversary with such power, and he believes that he could be that which is needed to change the course of this war.
You fight pretty good yourself. Where did you learn your moves? Can't believe you learned to fight like that in this backwater.
The knight has traveled far and fought many battles. He has only lived in this village for a short time.
What are you doing in the middle of these swamps when you could be making a difference on the battlefield?
The knight has fought a great many battles, but he feels he can be more useful protecting those who have nothing left.
I have to go. I'm glad we could test each other's mettle. It was fun.
Before his adversary rushes off to fight other battles, the knight has a question for him. He wishes to know if the freeborn blades would like him to join them.
I'm not the one who decides who joins the company, but I can ask the captain for you.
He has thought long on it, and wishes it would be so.
Well, that's great. I'll ask him, but I can't promise you anything.
Фу, так. Ладно, будем заканчивать на сегодня. Всем всего доброго, до скорых встреч. Пока-пока.